This is Kate Baconsale. You're listening to Baconsale.
Dan.
Huh? What?
Dan, you're supposed to do the intro.
It's your turn.
Zach.
That was not part of the deal.
No,
Oh.
Zach was supposed to do it, but he's not here.
Dan, we take turns.
So it's your turn.
Oh, okay. Well, welcome to Bacon Sale.
No. Well, it has to be.
No, we try to put a little more flair into it.
Oh.
Maybe theme it. You don't have to.
He's new.
Welcome to Baconsale. Yeah, there you go.
Welcome to Bacon Sale.
Here we go.
Hey. Welcome to Baconsale. I'm Joel.
I'm Kent.
I'm Dan.
And
Hey,
Dan. Wait a minute.
We'll talk about you in a little bit.
All right,
Well, I was going to say we can
couldn't
talk
resist.
about it now.
Sure.
Yeah, Zach. I was going to say Zach's taking some quick paternity leave. Congratulations, to
Because we
Zach.
pay for paternity leave.
We don't pay for anything. But Zach's going to take a break, and Dan Farnsworth is here to join us today. He's been very gracious to join us. In fact, Dan, you've been here before.
Yes.
Back on episode 155, Michael Bay, back in May 2018.
What?
So
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's been 4 years since you were on the show last.
I appreciate the invite.
You're our leap year host.
yeah.
Dan and I have been friends forever.
Yeah.
But it's also nice to have you back after 4 years. Really good friends.
Yeah.
Hey, we communicated in between, so I didn't feel,
Okay, that
I didn't
counts.
feel left out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does.
But
Absolutely.
yeah. But thank you for being here, and thank you for listening to our last show, listener.
Yeah, we actually have a few really good comments. Also, Dan, I just want to say I'm bummed you weren't here for that show because
For our movie scores.
I don't want to spoil
quiz
anything
with
about
Allison.
the movie score quiz.
Yes.
But I did okay.
You did good.
Just good?
Well, I mean, of the three of you,
Hey.
Because, Dan, you taught me everything I know about movie scores. You were the one that was like, I went over to your house once and I was like, hey, what cool CDs do you have? And I'm like, oh, he's got a couple soundtracks. Wait, this is just the instrumental stuff. Who cares about this? And you're like, oh, it's actually really cool. And so it wasn't until that and widescreen movies I learned to love because of you.
well, thank you. It's the differences, the little things.
It really is. The art of it all. But we do have a few great comments.
Yes.
So I'll start with Instagram. So from DC Foster, we have, this was great. Excellent job, Allison. We agree. It reminded me there was a good decade back in the day where I only listened to and loved movie soundtracks. Now going to find those CDs and copy them into my iTunes. What kind of computer do you have that can copy CDs in your iTunes?
I still have that.
You do?
Yeah, I still have a disk
That's
drive in my
still an
computer.
ability?
I have a desktop.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And also
On an Apple, though?
I know. That's what I'm saying. I
No,
don't think they
I
allow
have
that.
iTunes on my PC.
They like pay for it instead.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then from Twitter, we have Jeff. So it's RIP Bert Convey. He says, this is one of my areas of interest. So I would do pretty good toe to toe with you, but not perfect by any means. Thanks, Allison, once again for joining in the discussion. And he added a few points. It's impossible to tell Marvel scores apart. And I agree with that.
True.
I recognize the Patton score from the Simpsons episode, Bart the General. I didn't realize it was a spoof.
Once she said it was Patton, I actually was waiting for the later part that was the more famous cue.
Yeah. And then he also said, I listened to it at 1 speed, 1x, to catch the tunes better because he says, I usually listen at 2 times speed.
Oh, my gosh.
And then he said, 1x, it sounds like Drunk Train.
But, Jeff, if you're listening to it at 2 speed, what happens when we talk really fast? Do you understand what we're saying? Is that a problem?
Maybe we should speak slower. But we also have a comment from Mary Nolan Cox who says kind of the same thing. I'm usually a 1.5 speed kind of gal, but I had to go to 1x for this episode. I was driving, carpool listening to it, and the kids were joining in. Your Islands in the Stream Dune parody is almost worthy of Al Yankovic.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, and then
I love
also,
Weird Al.
great job, Allison, and score bars.
Yes. Have you got your score bars yet, Kent?
No,
You need
I
to.
can't find them.
They're at Walmart.
They're not at Walmart.
They're at Walmart.
Okay, I'll try.
Okay.
Okay, but yeah, thank you for the comments. Thank you for participating and everyone who played along.
Yes, and thank you, Allison, for coming up with that. We enjoyed it. We had a great time.
Yeah. Allison was a great guest host.
Yeah. But that's not what we're talking about today. What are we talking about today, Dan?
This is another responsibility. We're sorry about the
should
intro
have
thing.
told me
Yeah.
what it was that we were talking about.
Now you sound like Jake.
No, we're talking about what we're looking forward to this fall.
Yeah, so we do this
Pumpkin
show.
spice.
Oh, yeah. Pumpkin spice movies every day.
Pumpkin spice is life.
Joel never looks forward to pumpkin spice.
I don't.
Yeah. So we do this every year. We want to talk about the movies that are being released from September to the end of December, kind of a fall movie preview.
We call it fall movie preview. It really is to the end of the year.
Yeah, it's the end of the year.
Because we want to help you navigate what's happening. Because there's so many things coming out on so many platforms.
Well, my question is, do people really care about what's coming out anymore? Like outside of a few major blockbusters, do people know what comes out anymore.
They
I think
can't.
people that-
There's too much content and too many ways to watch
right.
it with everybody's original.
I'll agree with that.
Totally.
I'll agree with that because there is way too much content. Although I'm annoyed at IMDb. I ranted on our Pacon bit
Yes, you did.
that just released last week about how I'm bugged at IMDb for one reason, but I also got bugged at IMDb again because they changed the way they did the coming soon feature. Because it used to be you go to IMDb, the Internet Movie Database, you go to coming soon, and then you see what movies are coming out for the next year or so.
Would it have like a poster of the movie and a synopsis?
Yeah, a little synopsis.
Okay.
It was very easy to find and go through. And now they've changed the format where it's like, oh no, you only get the next 3 months. We're not showing you a poster or a synopsis. You got to click.
And you
into
don't even really
everything.
know what the movie is at that point.
No, and
Sure.
I was so bugged because that's normally how I gather my information for these episodes is through.
So you had to
IMDb.
Google harder.
Yeah, I had to. Google
I'm at
harder.
IMDb now too.
Isn't that the movie with Bruce Willis? But so yeah, I'm kind of
was the
annoyed
sequel.
because
Yeah.
I had to do more work, and it wasn't like a one-stop shop for me. But
Yeah.
here we are.
I hope we get the same kind of Joel research though.
Well, I'm surprised at myself. I'll say that.
Go on.
Because normally on these summer movie preview, fall movie preview, year in review like that we do, I'm usually the mainstream type of guy.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, oh, this big tentpole movie that's coming out, this huge superhero blockbuster, I'm into
I
that.
count on it. That's why I generally go the hipster route because I'm like, Joel, talk about mainstream. I can go really weird.
I went a little hipster this time
I'm curious.
because the tent poles weren't holding up anything for me.
Oh.
And so I decided
Oh,
to
hey,
See what he
slow
did there.
down. Let's wait
Look
till
at
we get
other
into it.
Yes,
So,
but-
Dan, obviously, we invited you here.
Yeah.
And I feel like you may be somewhere between Joel and I as far as movie taste.
Yeah, I think I tend to lean more the popular stuff.
Okay.
But I'm always open to indie fare and the hipster.
Right.
The hipster
A little more
choice.
challenging.
I read about everything, so even
Right.
if I haven't seen it, I know about it and I know what's going on generally.
Yeah, because I subscribe to a channel on YouTube that's just movie trailers, and so I see a lot of these trailers as they come out,
Right.
So I can get to know what these movies are because otherwise, where do you see those?
Yes.
So
Okay, but before we get into the end of the year movies, we want to talk a little bit about what our report card was for the summer movies that we
'cause
kind of
back
predicted.
in May, I think
Yeah.
it was. Maybe we did it with a summer movie preview. We each picked 5 we wanted to avoid or we wanted to flop, and then 5 we wanted to see.
So could you go into your least anticipated for summer, Joel?
Yeah, a couple ones that I'm just going to talk about all 5 here, but I'll try to be brief.
Okay.
Ones I wanted to avoid or flop. I put Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers,
Which is
because the trailer made it look terrible.
Yeah.
And then I saw some people being like, "This is the funniest movie I've ever seen," and I was like, "Fine, I'll give it a shot." My kids chose it for pizza movie night, and it was fine.
Yeah.
It was fine. It relies on one joke, which is references to other properties. So it's like, oh, hey, we're going to reference this thing that exists and this thing that exists. And it got to the point where I was like, look, we get the joke.
More for parents than kids.
Yes, I agree.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And the story, it's a cookie cutter plot, really. I didn't really think it was anything too special, but I was amused for the runtime.
I tried watching the actual cartoon with my girls after we watched the movie. They
And?
did not care whatsoever.
I just made my kids watch the intro of all those old '90s Disney
Yeah,
cartoons
so
like
good.
Darkwing Duck and
Yeah.
Rescue Rangers and
golden
and then,
days.
And then they were singing them, and they're
Yeah.
like, my son's like, "Oh, let's play it again."
I love it.
He's 14.
That's great. I don't know if Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers bombed exactly, but I do know the budget was around $70 million and the box office was $675,000.
Okay.
So, but it was a Disney Plus release.
Yeah, you never know
was
about
not-
streaming numbers.
This is not supposed to be streaming, but I think mediocre. I don't think it made a huge splash. I don't think it was a huge hit,
Yeah.
but it did fine. The other one I picked, Father of the Bride with Andy Garcia and Gloria
Yeah,
Estefan.
on HBO Max.
I successfully avoided that one.
I think it sunk HBO Max.
you think
Since
so?
they
That's the
had so
reason?
much-
They had to
having
buy
so many
Discovery
issues.
Plus.
Yeah, exactly.
They were putting all their chips on Andy Garcia and Gloria Estefan.
yeah.
I don't know.
That's why they canceled Batgirl.
I don't know. I don't know anyone that watched it.
No.
I honestly don't. It came and it went.
And that's a problem with streaming movies sometimes.
yeah. The reviews seemed fine from what I was looking up, and people didn't seem to hate it or think it was the worst adaptation of Father of the
I
Bride.
think that's kind of how we have to gauge it now. Is it even in our consciousness at some
Yeah.
point if it's streaming because we don't have any sort of numbers?
Speaking of which, my other pick was Senior Year, which
Oh, it's on Netflix.
was on Netflix. Is it still on Netflix? I don't know. It's got a 22% on Rotten Tomatoes, which it leads me to believe that it may not have been well received.
Sure.
But I don't think anyone cared or watched this.
I'll be
one.
watching it for Ketmas.
I did say Lightyear, the Buzz Lightyear one,
which you haven't seen.
I still haven't seen it,
I think you successfully torpedoed that.
but
A huge bomb.
I didn't expect to have that much power,
Right.
Because when I said I'd like it to bomb, the budget was 200 million, and it made 226 million, which sounds like they made a little more money, but you have to remember you always have to double the budget to get a profit because they don't include marketing and stuff like that inside that budget.
Right.
So that's the rule of thumb is generally double the budget, and they have to cross that line before it could be considered a success.
Wow, Joel.
So my fault.
Yeah, your
Not
fault.
bad. And then the last one I wanted to bomb was Minions: The Rise of Gru, which I successfully avoided watching. But
I've heard good things.
well,
It didn't bomb.
budget of 80 million. Box office 868 million and counting.
In these
10
days?
times its budget.
Yeah.
Do you know
And it
why?
started
was the
a
only
trend
Do you know why? Because of that,
of boys in suits.
Yeah, you go get dressed up as much as possible and go see Minions in your fanciest attire. That became, I swear, that was a marketing ploy by the studio.
It worked.
And now people are like, oh, this is funny to go see this in a suit and
Yeah.
a tuxedo. And they've made 10 times their budget.
Amazing.
Over 10 times their budget.
That's amazing.
Insane.
It's such a kid friendly property, though.
Yeah.
Oh, look,
I've
little
heard-
yellow people speaking gibberish. That's
How
amazing.
do these movies keep making money?
I've heard good things.
And also, continuity. There are some major, I've heard there's major continuity issues.
Really?
With
Okay.
Minions.
He's going to argue it for Despicable
Well,
Me.
just that they apparently forgot that the other movies referenced a young Gru and like his history. And so I watched this.
Can we have a full show where you poke holes?
I watched an honest trailer
kid
for it.
show plots.
And they're
Yeah.
like, that there's all these things that don't add up. So,
Okay.
just saying.
For me, I had Paws of Fury, The Legend of Hank.
Yeah.
Which I didn't see, but
Did
it
that
did make
come
a
out?
splash. Yeah, it came out, but no one saw it.
Paramount Plus now.
Marcel the Shell with Shoes On. This is an A24 like lighthearted indie comedy.
Yeah.
About Marcel the Shell. I didn't see this one either. I choose not to.
How did it do? Do you know?
Critically loved. I think 10 people saw it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they absolutely loved it.
loved it. Shotgun Wedding. This one did not come out. This is Jennifer Lopez and I think Josh Duhamel in a rom-com.
Yeah.
It will come out next year. So look forward to my least anticipated next year.
By the time that one finally comes out, Armie Hammer
It'll
might
be-
be back in the role.
It'll be Valentine's Day for this upcoming one.
Yeah, most likely.
Like with Owen Wilson this year.
A senior year.
Yeah, we
I had
both
that
had
as
that.
well.
Yeah.
And then my number one least anticipated movie was Thor Love and Thunder. And look, has it made a lot of money? Yes. Has it made a profit? Apparently not.
What?
They're saying not. It's made $700 million as of this recording.
How was that not a profit?
It was made for about $275 million. And even though it's doubled that,
Yeah.
they're saying with everything for international costs and everything like that, it's maybe in the black by a couple bucks.
That is ridiculous that you can make over $700 million and not be considered a success.
Here's where Disney was kind of hyping themselves up, and maybe everyone else as well. They expect every Marvel movie to make $1 billion now, and they haven't since
Phase 3.
Spider-Man has been the only
Oh, yeah.
movie to make
But that was Sony Marvel.
Yes, but Thor was kind of seen as a massive disappointment for a lot of people, and honestly, it was a horrible movie.
My son keeps wanting to watch it
Yeah.
because he wants to watch all the Marvel movies, and I said, well, we'll just wait till it's streaming, and then we can,
Yeah,
clear play
totally
out the
worth
bum.
it on streaming.
Yeah.
And I'm speaking as Kent. Dan, were you a fan of this movie?
I really thought it was going to be as good as
Ragnarok. Sure.
And
Which I thought was fun. I enjoyed Ragnarok,
I did too. It just didn't meet that same threshold.
Did he go to Taika on the movie?
and not enough Waititi.
No, because I generally like all of Taika's other movies. Like I love Jojo Rabbit. I loved Hunt for the Wilder People.
Yeah, but there's heart in those movies. This one was pure saccharine the entire
And maybe
time.
that's what it was.
Sorry, we're spending so long on these
That's okay.
summer
That's fine.
movies.
But yeah, overall, I was disappointed. My kids were kind of bored with it.
Yeah. Dan, did you have any least favorite movies of the summer?
Probably Jurassic Park.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
But I still loved it because
There's dinosaurs.
there was dinosaurs, and I took my kids to it, and
But-
some of them were the same age.
I heard
was
there
when
were, I heard
saw
there
the
were just
first one.
locusts. I heard there's no dinosaurs,
Oh,
just locusts.
super
Well, they were like
locusts.
dinosaur-sized locusts,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
If you know, you know.
But it's a disappointing
I'd
movie
prefer
nonetheless.
locust-sized
Right?
It was, but I still was entertained.
Yeah.
So that's all I'm really asking for in a summer movie.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, so what about our most anticipated for summer?
So the ones I wanted to see Elvis by Baz Luhrmann. I haven't seen it yet, but it is coming out by the airing of this episode. I believe it will be on HBO Max.
Okay, just save 3 hours. That's all I'm saying.
But yeah, this one did okay at the box office. Not a huge smash, but it sounded like it went well, and his estate liked it. So
Pretty good.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm excited to see it. This is actually one
Has
that
the Priscilla stamp of approval.
Yeah.
yeah.
Nice.
This
Means
is one,
maybe a little bias towards that story, but yes.
yeah, and this is one I wanted to see, and I was going to see in theaters, but just didn't have the chance. So I'm happy it's coming out on
See it at home so you can take bathroom breaks.
Okay,
Fair enough.
Samaritan. Remember that one?
It's on Amazon Prime right now.
Oh, I watched it. It's on Amazon Prime.
And?
I watched
Is it as
it.
bad as everyone says it
I've
is?
had this on the list since summer of 2021.
Wow.
It's not bad. It's generic action. If you want generic action movie, like think of this sounds almost mean, but not really. But think of those movies Bruce Willis was doing near the end of his career, where it's kind of like, yeah, we know the steps this movie's going to go through. It's not going to wow me. It's not going to change anything.
Like a
but,
Taken 2.
yeah.
Okay.
So this is that.
Okay.
It's not bad. Guns 3, alias Billy the Kid.
Which we said.
No clue what's going on here.
That was like someone had a dream about making Young Guns 3.
Yeah.
And you put it on your list.
They said August, and I was like, "There's no way that's going to happen."
Of
And it didn't
2029.
happen.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, there's nothing on there. Nope was another one I
Yeah.
said. That one I'm saving for Halloween season. I just saw that Clearplay just said, "Hey, we got Nope."
Box office failure.
Oh, is
in
it?
many ways.
Oh.
It did okay first couple weekends, but it didn't make its money.
But
really.
you liked it, didn't you?
Not really.
I thought you said that it was your favorite.
I think he meant to say nope.
I thought what you said, you liked it better than any Nolan movie you've ever seen.
Stop it
Didn't you say
right
that?
now.
You said it was better than any A24
I think I said you
horror
must
movie.
see it because it's a C.
You said A24 is trash. Long live Jordan Peele. That's what you said.
What happened?
Hereditary
What's going
was
on?
the worst movie he's ever seen.
Unbelievable.
He
For
said-
my soul. Yes.
Ken said, "Nope is the new Hereditary." He said that. Anyway,
I can't.
so
Can't even.
But that one, yeah. But I was going to say it made a profit, right?
Not yet.
It's getting there. Give it time.
And then my number
That's
one
the
wanted
thing.
to
Most
see
of these movies like now have time to breathe.
It's true. They
Where
do.
it's not.
Well,
Well,
it will
not
be
really.
a cult
There was,
favorite.
there
I
was
think.
like a tent
Elvis
every week.
45
previously.
days after it hit theaters, it's going to HBO Max, and so
Yeah,
that's
that's
why
kind of how it is now.
That's so weird.
Month and a half window.
But and then my number one was Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, which I did see, and it did make a big profit. It's
It did.
close. It's close to $1 billion. It was
Yeah.
like 955 million. It was okay.
Yeah.
I gave it 3 stars out of 5. Where it was
That's-
kind of like
that's fair.
It was kind of like down the road, like
Right in the middle.
My
right?
review said too much madness, not enough multiverse. That's my top 5 that I had, and so overall, they were all meh. I'm still looking forward to Elvis though.
I don't know if I did as well. I did the Black Phone as my number 5. It's enjoyable, but it's just not scary. Like totally watch this during the Halloween season. Just
The
don't
trailer
be
looks
scared.
scary.
It was
Yeah.
profitable.
Yeah, it's profitable, and it's a well-made movie. It just doesn't have like the.
Is there going to be a
factor.
Black Phone 2, The Blackening?
Yes. And then Elvis, I had number 4.
Black Mobile.
Oh, that's
The Black Phone 2, Cellular.
Men. I had as my number 3.
Yeah, with one guy playing all the roles of
Yeah, Rory Kinnear,
Rory
and it
Kinnear,
was
yeah.
messed up, and it was an A24 movie, and yep, that's all I need to say. I didn't really
Was it
care
good,
for
though?
it.
Okay.
No, it's way too messed up.
We've gone on record. King hates A24 now.
Yeah.
Wha- Listen,
He's on the Peel train now.
Bullet Train was my number 2. Really fun ride. Bullet Train. Nope was my number 1. I didn't.
Nope
really care
was your
for it.
number 1.
Yes.
And it exceeded all your expectations.
Nope. In my honorable mentions, and I think Joel, was it yours too? I know Zach maybe had it as number 1. Top Gun.
How
Yeah.
did you? How was that not your top?
Because we kind of hated it.
I was concerned that it was going to be one of those lukewarm reboots, nostalgia. What do they call them? Nostalgia.
Nostalgia bait.
No, it's like the word
legacy sequel.
Legacy sequel.
Yes.
There's going to be one of those half-baked Lego sequels. And then it ended up being my favorite thing of the summer.
I know.
So much fun.
How could it not? Honestly.
Was that your favorite of the
Oh
summer?
my gosh! Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going on Saturday to see it in IMAX because it's $3.
I'll see you there.
$3 ticket.
Yeah. This is a must see in theater
You
movie.
have to. It's so awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which it's coming out pretty quick on streaming. So.
It's weird how it's become the uniting movie.
Yeah.
Because there are very few movies where like critics agree and fans agree and families agree. This is the movie that you could be like, what movie do you like? Top Gun.
Yeah. I'm telling you right now, we took my parents. They loved it. My kids, they loved it. Like, this is old and young.
Yes.
Bond and free, but
My Country 'Tis of Thee.
basically.
I wish I could have taken my dad to see it. That would
Yeah,
have been
truly.
Yeah.
It's that kind of
icing
movie.
on the cake. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So there you go. That's our recap of the summer. And now we're going to dive into the future.
Let's do it.
So we're going to start with our want to avoid, want to flop section. Can I go first on this one?
Of course.
Because it wouldn't be a fall movie preview if I did not wish for a Disney live action remake to flop. Pinocchio.
Oh, it's that far back.
Pinocchio. Yeah.
Okay.
So Pinocchio, directed by Robert Zemeckis. If you don't know him, he did Romancing the Stone and Back to the Future and Who Framed Roger Rabbit and Forrest Gump.
Polar Express.
And then nothing much after that.
Yeah.
His last great film was in 2000, I believe, with I just blanked on what
Castaway?
It was actually
Castaway.
2015. It
Yes.
was called The Walk.
The Walk is good.
but not great.
No.
Oh, it was great.
I feel like Robert Zemeckis
In theaters,
maybe
yes.
lost a bit. And it's a live action. It's a live action adaptation. That's what the synopsis is. Live action adaptation of Disney's Pinocchio. That's as much thought that went into the synopsis, probably as much thought as went into the movie. So this stars Tom Hanks, Cynthia Erivo, Giuseppe Battiston, Luke Evans, Joseph Gordon-Levitt. There you go, Keegan-Michael Key.
Yes.
So-
Most of those are voices, and
It also,
JGL's Jiminy Cricket, right?
which Kent's all in on
Honestly,
that.
they could have just shrunk JGL and he'd be Jiminy Cricket because he has the look, right? He does.
Yeah. And I've
years.
said it
He's a
before,
little roachy.
and I'll say it again. We don't need another little Disney live action remake. This is going to be on Disney Plus.
And the Pinocchio looks almost exactly like he does in the cartoon, but it's kind of nightmare fuel in live action. He doesn't look anything like a puppet in live action.
Yeah. Well, and I have issues whenever they say live action, but it features animal characters, so it's not live action.
Yeah.
It's CGI. That bugs me.
Yeah.
Like a cricket.
And it's Tom Hanks once again. Being Tom Hanks, I am not down with Tom Hanks lately.
Really?
For the past couple of years.
What about Colonel Tom Parker and Elvis?
No. Oh, because you're supposed to hate him. And he also does a terrible job.
This one was going to be released in theaters, but apparently because of Dumbo flopping in theaters, they decided to do a streaming release on this one.
And it's probably this weekend as of this recording.
Yeah. It'll be out.
September 8th.
September
Yes.
8th is when it comes out, but I want this one to flop because we have not taught Disney a lesson, people.
No.
Leave it alone.
We keep
Yeah.
throwing the money at these live action remakes that are forgettable at best, and then they keep making them. Stop
Although
it.
Cruella was surprisingly good.
Hello.
I know you hate it.
You did not listen to any of our Bacon
I know you
episodes.
hate it. I'm just saying.
Because
Just
it
to be
tried
the
something
op-
different? Is that what you're saying? Like,
It just
Style?
it was unexpected,
okay.
It was unexpected. They took a
Unexpected
famous villain and
execution.
tried to make them sympathetic.
but they didn't.
They tried.
But they didn't.
What do you mean they didn't?
They didn't.
They did.
She intentionally chose to be that way.
I
She
think
did
they
not
made the
skin one
Dalmatians the villains. Let's
Yeah.
be real.
That's true. That's true.
Welcome to Baconsale, Dan.
It's cool.
Yeah.
I'm here to mix it up a little.
Oh, so let's stay on the Disney train with my number 5. It's Hocus Pocus 2.
Good one.
I don't care.
I don't either. I never got into the first one.
Okay, I was wondering.
No,
Nope.
I'm not big on the
Don't
first
care.
one.
Because, I mean,
It's a cult classic.
back in the day, back in the college days, everyone was like, oh, Hocus Pocus is fun. And now it's like this nostalgia movie that everyone likes.
Yeah.
But it feels like a Halloween Town movie as far as quality goes. With a great cast, mind you. I mean,
Props for them all coming back.
yeah, you have Bette Midler, Kathy Najimy, and Sarah Jessica Parker in her prime. Girls just want to have fun or Hocus Pocus?
She's way too young, and girls want to have fun.
But we were also 9.
Yeah, that's right. When she watched that movie, yeah.
And also, we watched it 3
Save it
years
for our
ago.
Sarah Jessica Parker show.
On a sleepover, I think we watched that movie.
We totally did. Baconsale sleepover.
So this comes out September 30th on Disney+. The synopsis is 3 young women accidentally bring back the Sanderson sisters to modern-day Salem and must figure out how to stop the child-hungry witches from wreaking havoc on the world. Doug Jones is back as Billy Butcherson. None of the other cast is back.
No,
which honestly
because they're
think is
old now.
kind of disappointing. Like, because...
You don't think they're going to have a cameo
Thora
in there?
Birch isn't coming
None.
back?
What?
Nope.
What are they?
Apparently she wanted to, but scheduling conflicts. I'm like, you didn't want
Scheduling
to.
conflicts?
Thora Birch.
Come on.
What are any of those actors doing nowadays?
Hey, the Starbucks shift is really long. Okay.
Ouch.
But yeah, it's directed by Anne Fletcher, who did The Guilt Trip and 27 Dresses. And it's from the writer of 1 episode of Cougar Town and 2 episodes of Workaholics. So stoked for Hocus Pocus 2. And I know there are people that are like, yeah, but won't it be fun? Honestly, if it's a fun surprise, great. I
not
just
gonna
don't
be.
really care.
No, it's not going to be.
I don't think it will make a splash, and it'll be seen as kind of what we pictured Top Gun Maverick to be. We could be wrong, though. We've been wrong before.
Having watched the trailer, though, because I did give this one a trailer, like, watch, be like, okay,
Yeah.
let me watch this. It's not going to be good.
No. All right, Dan, what's your number 5?
Blonde.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, you
Controversial pick. Here we
you
go.
want Ana de Armas to bomb?
I'm just not looking forward to it.
Is it
Wait,
because
you're not looking forward to
Okay,
an
so-
You're not looking forward to an NC-17 movie?
a 3-hour
What kind
movie?
of moral person are you?
I'd be lying if I said I've never watched an NC-17 movie.
Yeah.
Family friendly?
I didn't say what it was, but this is a fictionalized chronicle of the inner life of Marilyn Monroe.
Yes.
I am not super interested.
Even in the Hollywood legacy of it all.
Well,
You know what? They did this 20 years ago on HBO. I think it was called Norma Jean and Marilyn.
Yes.
But I guess
Well-
everything that's old is new again.
So-
and it wouldn't be Hollywood if they didn't remake it again.
I am fascinated by the story of Marilyn Monroe because it is a very tragic tale of someone who was used and abused by the system and took her life, sadly.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I was like, this might be fascinating. And Ana de Armas, I think, is absolutely beautiful. But then when I watched the trailer, and it just pulled me out of reality the way she spoke.
I think
Because it's Anna de Armas.
and I think she's miscast.
Yes, and that's what it is. She looks the part, but she did not sound the part. And that's coming from someone who really does not like Marilyn Monroe's voice. I hate that breathy way of speaking. Drives me nuts. Like in her movies, I've seen a few of her
I'll
movies.
agree to disagree with that, but anyways, go ahead.
Right. But Anna de Armas, the way she was speaking, I'm like, that doesn't sound like Marilyn Monroe. That sounds like Anna de Armas doing a Marilyn Monroe impression. It became kind of hokey. And all of a sudden I went, what kind of movie is this going to be?
Well, and because Zach's not here, I have to give representation. This is 3/4 the Snyder Cut. This is that long of a movie. And this is streaming.
Well, it is Andrew Dominic, the
Yeah, that's
director
true.
who makes notoriously long movies like Assassination of Jesse James.
Oh,
Coward
by the
Robert
Robert
Ford.
Which, that's a good,
was
that's
fine.
a good
Yeah,
resume right there.
I was bored.
It's that kind of movie.
I know, but I generally like westerns, but I couldn't get into that one. But I think it could be good. I'm just not
So here's the
looking
thing.
forward to it.
As far as splashes go, what Netflix has done the past couple of years, they'll release these late year movies. They're looking for Oscar nominations.
absolutely.
And that's what Blonde is meant to
Yes.
do. Do I think it'll succeed? Not at all.
You don't think she'll get a
I don't.
nomination?
No, I don't think she will either.
And they often do like a black and white movie at the end of the year to get awarded, like Mank.
Is this going to be in black and white the
Yes.
whole time?
I know.
Anyways, I'm just not looking forward to it. I thought My Week with Marilyn was more compelling and caught me a little bit more.
Sure.
With Michelle Williams, and I thought she's a way better actress
She
than
is.
Anna de Armas, even if Anna de Armas is
Anna de Armas.
more.
Yeah.
That's what we say. Yep.
So,
All right. Good pick.
thanks.
Joel?
So my number 4, you know how sometimes, I mean, not on this show, obviously, but sometimes I do Joel jokes.
Yeah. All the time.
It started out as a Joel joke where I was like, oh, this one looks terrible. But then I watched the trailer and I want it to bomb. This is Daddy-Daughter Trip coming out on September 30th.
I've never even heard of this.
Directed by Rob Schneider. Starring Rob Schneider.
Shocker.
And Miranda Schneider, his daughter.
Is that the pop star or is that a different daughter?
It's different
I
daughter.
don't know.
His pop star daughter is Elle King.
Yeah. Elle
Oh,
King.
yeah, that's right. No, so plot summary. A spring break trip vacation with a series of misfortunate adventures is saved when the duo meet a couple of famous travel bloggers.
Oh.
So the premise is, this dad is too poor. The dad, Rob Schneider, is an inventor who none of his inventions are taking off, and they're so poor that they can't go on a spring break vacation. And like the little girls in class, I'm giving the spoiler for the trailer here, but the little girls in class, she's like, yeah, we're going to go on spring trip. We're going to go. And she starts making stuff up like, we're going to go to this place and we're going to this place. And the class starts laughing at her and they're like, you're too poor to go to those places. Like literally that's one of the lines in there. And then the dad is like, I'm going to make it happen. And we're going to do this. And as they're going on the trip, he gets hit by a car by these rich people.
Okay.
Who then they go on vacation together to kind of keep him from suing. So they do all these fun things.
So the premise
And-
is very 1980s, it feels like.
Yeah.
That's a
but
way
like
1980s.
Yeah.
a very sloppy, half-hearted, not thought through 80s plot.
So Happy Madison production.
Got that
Probably.
very much feel
Snap.
to it.
Yeah. I
And
mean, no,
then-
that's fine.
I know.
And that's how these movies usually get financed.
It is what
Yeah,
it is.
and it's
Yeah.
and you guys know me. I judge a movie's humor based on what's in the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
If there is bathroom humor in the trailer, automatically my expectations are immediately lower because I'm like, they're trying to showcase their best humor here,
Right.
and they're resorting to Rob Schneider getting into a bed. Which he has to share a bed with someone they're staying with, and she's like, "Watch out, I got pretty bad gas."
Oh,
and then
no.
there's lots of flatulence.
Oh, great.
And I was like, I have no doubt this one will fail. I think this is a sure bet, and I don't think people even know it comes out September 30th.
Yeah.
I'd be surprised.
I had no idea.
Is it Netflix?
I think it might be theaters.
Can we go see this?
That's absolutely
Can we do a
shocking.
bacon bit on this one?
But Daddy-Daughter Trip, I will not be seeing, and I don't think anyone else should either.
Okay. My number 4 is an Amazon Prime movie. It's called Catherine Called Birdie. And this is based off a book. This was released October 7th. So in the spooky month, we have a period piece.
Who's the director on this one?
The director and writer is Lena Dunham.
That's it.
That's all I need to say. I don't need to give a synopsis. A lot of people know my distaste for Lena Dunham. And
Your distaste?
the world's distaste.
Yeah.
But it's a 14-year-old girl in medieval England navigates through life and avoiding potential suitors her father has in mind. This is Brave, but a British period piece, but with modern-day comedy.
Yeah.
And witticisms.
Yeah, it's very much the way they talk is kind of that modern millennial type
Yeah,
of
and
speaking.
this is very popularized through like Bridgerton, right? It's a very modern-day look at a classical era. The slogan is, old world problems, new world attitude.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah. I did laugh once at the trailer, though.
Okay.
With the little exchange they have where they're talking
At the
about
dinner?
Yeah.
Me
Where they have
too.
like the plague and that whole thing.
It's a smallpox.
Yeah.
It's a little
it's
pox.
not a big pox. It's like a small pox.
Now we're like trying to get people to go watch it.
No, that was the only thing I laughed at in the trailer because I kind of rolled my eyes for the rest of it. Like,
Yeah, but it's Amazon Prime movie, October 7th.
okay.
Alrighty.
Dan, what's your number 4?
You know, I may have misunderstood the assignment a little bit.
Okay.
But
Because you're very excited about this one.
I am excited. This one is a Halloween thriller. Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey.
Oh.
Not sure if anybody's heard of this.
Wait. You don't want this movie to happen at all?
I don't want it to succeed, but I kind of do in an ironic sense. Of like,
I was going to say, tell the listener what it's about.
okay, so this follows Pooh and Piglet as they go on a rampage after Christopher Robin abandons them.
So
And by rampage, massacre.
so that's the story. Think
Murderers.
Yes.
This is live action, and Christopher Robin has left, leaving Pooh and Piglet to become feral animals.
And don't think like Ewan McGregor been like, oh, my old imaginary friends. You know, that's my
Yeah.
Ewan McGregor, by the way.
That's very good.
Hello there.
I was-
It's like a kid who's like, hey, you're my fiance. I'm going to take you back to my cabin where I used to play pretend with these animals that I abandoned. And they're like adult-sized.
with masks.
It looks
on.
like men with masks, but
Yeah.
I think
They
it's
do.
really meant to be a bear.
I think
and
it's
Piglet.
supposed to
Now-
be a bear and a boar. A
And
wild
my
boar
question,
now.
Okay.
my question was, I was like, how on earth would Disney allow their property to do this?
And how?
I learned
It is public domain.
it's in the public domain now.
The Disney stuff isn't. Like if you did Pooh with a red shirt or anything like relating
Right.
to the stuff that Disney did, that is not public domain. But the original drawings, the original stories,
Like
are
they
all
could
public
say,
domain
"Oh,
now.
bother."
A.A. Milne's stories are.
I really think this all goes back to we had a bracket show where we had Disney heroes and sidekicks, and they were fighting to the death. And Joel made Winnie the Pooh out to be a murderer, bloodthirsty.
He's a ruthless killer.
And I think someone heard that, and they made this movie.
I think so too.
The quality looks horrible, but at the same time, if it succeeds, it is now starting. Anytime there's this open IP, they will make a horror movie about it.
Absolutely.
Hello,
So that's my number 4. I just was shocked
Yeah.
at the
It looks-
stupidity of it.
I will be seeing this day one.
I thought it was going to look like
I have no doubt.
those
Yeah.
terrible indie student horror films,
Right.
but it actually kind of looks like professional,
Yeah.
which was weird to me, but it doesn't look good.
No.
My number 3 is Hocus Pocus 2.
Okay.
September 30th it comes out, directed by Ann Fletcher, who did Step Up and 27 Dresses. If I may just read the ending of Hocus Pocus, the original movie.
Yeah, please do.
So this is just from Wikipedia, the source of all the truth. 'Cause
spoiler alert. 5, 6,
for the
7,
original
8.
Hocus Pocus.
Yeah.
I like the original movie, but I appreciated how it ended because it ended. Here's what it says in Wikipedia. Winifred, Bette Midler, the main witch, falls into the hallowed ground in the cemetery, causing her to turn into stone. As the sun finishes rising above the horizon, Mary and Sarah, the other 2 witches, are disintegrated into dust along with Winifred's stone body. The witch's deaths break the Thackeray's curse, allowing him to finally die and freeing his soul, and reuniting with him with Emily as they both head off into the afterlife while Billy returns to his grave to sleep. The end? The Winifred sisters are dead. They're dead.
Yeah.
Sanderson's.
Now, it's Winifred sisters, yeah. Now, granted, Sanderson sisters.
It's an offshoot.
Now, granted, at the end, it does show the book like open its eye. That's kind of a little stinger at the end. But it just, I don't know. The first movie focused on them being fishes out of water.
Yeah.
Like, what's this black river? Oh, it's a road. What, this guy dressed as a devil. Must be the devil. Like, it's all very kind of them getting to know stuff. And I know.
TikTok.
It's going to be TikTok, AirPods, drones, and self-driving cars. They're going to be like, what is this thing? It's crazy. It's not going to work. So I think Hocus Pocus 2 should fail.
Okay. I totally agreed. My number 3 is Clerks 3.
I never saw Clerks 1 or 2.
Oh,
I saw the first one,
yeah.
but I never saw
So the
second
first one came out in 1994. This was the movie that started Kevin Smith's career and gave him a career all the way till now. Because somehow this guy has given money all the way till now. I'm okay
His style
with
humor is not my style.
I'm okay
humor.
with Mallrats because that's back when I was really juvenile with my humor.
I do kind of like Mallrats.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't seen it for a
Because
long time.
it relies a lot on like making fun of superheroes and that sort of stuff as well.
Yeah.
I think Jay and Silent Bob work in very small doses, but then they've got their own movies and it's just too much gross out comedy. Clerks 1 works though because it was an indie movie. It wasn't trying all that hard. It just hit at the right time for this real Gen X slacker attitude.
Oh, yeah.
And then in 2006 they made Clerks 2, which was just in your face comedy, had a few funny moments, but it was just like, hey, look what we can do with a budget.
Yeah.
And now, 16 years later, Clerks 3,
Yeah.
And so the synopsis is Dante, Elias, Jay, and Silent Bob are all enlisted by Randall after a heart attack to make a movie about the convenience store that started it all. So it's a meta movie, and it's going to have a lot of cameos in here. Ben Affleck being an old friend of Kevin Smith. Sarah Michelle Gellar's going to make a cameo as well. I
Oh,
guess.
so you're going to watch this then?
I will, but I'm going to hate it. But Kevin Smith, like Tusk, Yoga Hosers, like I can't really think of a good movie he's made since
Dogma is the one I
in
like.
the 90s. Dogma's decent.
Yeah, good choice.
What's your number 3, Dan?
My number 3 is I did a twofer.
Okay.
Not one Pinocchio, but both Pinocchios. Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio.
Okay, let's talk about that one since we kind of talked about the Disney one.
Right.
So this is all stop motion animation.
Impressive, and maybe it'll be like this year's Kubo,
Right.
where
Kubo
I
and the
love
Two
Kubo
Strings,
so
yeah.
much.
Kubo and the Two Strings, where
Yeah.
I was absolutely blown away and it
Right.
was compelling. But it's such a familiar story. Why?
Right.
Like Roberto Benigni tried to do it how many times?
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
Those are bad.
But he was
Is it not
Pinocchio and he was
odd
50.
to either of you that we're having 2 Pinocchio movies just named Pinocchio this year?
Yeah.
No, this one's Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio.
No one ever reads the title. the subtitle head thing. I don't know.
The
Yep,
official
that.
title.
Yeah.
So
But yeah,
I'm not
it looks
excited.
artistic. It looks like
looks
a darker
artistic.
twist on the story.
It might. And that's
Could be.
Pinocchio. If they go with the original fairy tale, could be very different from the Disney one.
It could be.
But you
So
want
what?
both Pinocchios to flop.
Yeah, I don't care about him.
Make new stories? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Made of wood.
He's got no strings to hold him down. I get that.
Yeah.
Let's set this property free and do something different.
Okay.
Like make him a murderer.
Yeah,
Right?
there you go. Like turn him into
That's
Winnie
the
the Pooh.
theme, yeah.
Pinocchio, Blood and Honey. He
Yeah.
intentionally tells lies and impales people or something. I don't know.
Ooh. Write that. When does that
With
go
his
to public
nose?
domain?
He's killing people with his nose?
Yeah.
yeah.
I love it so much.
Yeah. I don't want to murder you.
But it's like their ankles, like on Pet Cemetery.
No.
Oh, that's so good. No
We're
more.
not in October yet.
Anyways, I don't care.
Yeah.
That's
I don't
understandable.
care if it does fine. Guillermo has fan proof, critic proof
Yeah.
support.
He has
So-
my support, even though he's made a couple stinkers. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Glub glub.
Kiss, kiss.
you don't have to make the kiss sounds.
What? I'm sorry.
All right. So my
He
number.
did on one of the
I may.
prior
Yeah,
episodes.
okay.
And it just made me laugh so hard I wanted to take the opportunity.
All right. So my number 2, Want to Flop, shouldn't be a surprise because we've kind of talked about it before, although maybe it's only on Pagan Bits, but I want the Munsters to flop.
And that is now a streaming release.
Yes, September
Oh,
27th.
really?
It's going to
Yeah.
be streaming on, it's going to be released on digital, Blu-ray, DVD, and Netflix on September 27th, 2022.
Wow.
And this is
That
directed
trailer.
by Rob Zombie, who did House of a Thousand Corpses, Devil's Rejects, terrible, awful, horrible Halloween reboots.
Very gory movies.
And family-friendly The Munsters?
yeah.
That was my next question because I didn't see the trailer for this. I just heard
please
about it,
watch it.
and I didn't know it was going to be
So the
family friendly.
No, that's the thing. Is that I heard he was doing a reboot of The Munsters. I'm like, oh, that's going to be weird. And then we watched the trailer, and I think we talked about it on a Pagan Bit. But it was awful. Like student film sound and lighting and acting.
Did you
awful.
Did you ever watch the old TV show?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Definitely.
Because watching that now, it looks cheesy like that
But
too.
and
And this is matching that style.
No,
Yeah.
no. This is lesser than that style.
Oh, sure.
No.
Like I watched this and I went, this is worse than the original series.
It's trying to echo everything that show did.
Okay.
Which the plot summary: reboot of the Munsters that followed a family of
if it's
monsters who
going
moves from
all the
Transylvania
streaming all at
to an
once.
American suburb, and starring Sherry Moon Zombie because she's in everything that Rob Zombie directs. His wife tells him to put him in everything. But it's an amateur, awful, horrible movie from what I can tell, which is weird because Rob Zombie, is terrible of a director as he is. Mm-hmm. He has a look and a style, and this does not look like that at all. It looks bad,
It really does.
really bad. I may end up watching it.
No, because of the trailer was that bad. Dan honestly watched the trailer.
I'm wondering,
Possibly one of the
gonna do
worst, what I consider to be wide release movie trailers I'd
Yeah.
ever seen. And now it's just a streaming movie. So you're like, oh, whatever.
this really does feel like those late night someone made a movie and trying to get an ad on the air
Yes.
stuff. It's terrible.
Horrible.
Munsters. Don't see it.
I'm going to go really quickly because my number 2 is Disney's Pinocchio.
Okay.
Because, yeah,
We're all on that page.
we all want it to fail.
My number 2
Yes.
is called Bones and All.
Okay.
It
Let's talk
is,
about this. This needs some explanation, I
This
think.
movie is an indie movie. It's Marin, a young woman, learns how to survive on the margins of society with her boyfriend, who has, shall we say, a very specific taste for his menu.
This is Timothy Chalamet.
That's right.
Timothy
rejoining with the
Chalamet.
director of Call Me by Your Name. So
and
Hey, you guys like that right
the
at
Suspiria
Lagoon?
remake.
What's that?
for
What's that
horror
right at
fans.
Lagoon? The really tall one, Cannibal.
Yes,
Okay,
absolutely.
unrelated, but keep
no big
talking.
deal. I was going to say The Rocket.
So I watched the preview for this, and I read a little bit about it, and no, thanks. But horror's not my jam.
But
so
this is
those are
like-
generally ones I want.
There's
them
horror
to
movies, and then there's movies about the tallest rat at Lagoon.
Yes.
Right?
We can say cannibals, guys.
Can we say that?
We
I
can
was
say
worried.
cannibal. It's about cannibalism.
It is.
And I think those go beyond, right? Those are generally festival movies or NC-17. It's
Yeah.
movies that you're like, watch if you're really kind of a deviant.
But you get like Silence of the Lambs, which is a
Sure.
fantastic suspenseful thriller because it does not focus on that.
Yeah.
Hannibal
and
comes
he's,
out.
He's the villain.
Yeah, and Hannibal comes out, and it crossed that line where it was like, okay, now we're in bad taste
Yeah.
territory.
There was another one.
Raw, I watched a couple
That's-
years ago at
that's the one
Sundance.
I was thinking of.
And I honestly, I don't get ill, right? If something happens in a movie, it's fine. But if I watch something like Dr. Pimple Popper, I'm out, right?
Ew. Ew.
Thank you
Ew.
for bearing
Ew.
with me on that.
Gross.
No, thank
But if
you.
it's like real surgery or anything, I'm like, I can't. But in a movie, I can handle anything, not in Raw, because cannibalism, well, it should instinctually make us all sick to our stomachs, right?
Right.
This will be a very European movie,
Oh, very.
right?
Yeah. So
With Timothy Chalamet,
Yep.
in a
Timothy
European
Chalamet.
movie? What?
So I like Timothy Chalamet. I think he's a really great performer. But
Yeah. But
no
the title,
thanks.
Bones and All, I don't like it in context.
Yep.
Yeah.
No thanks.
All right, so now we're to our number one, Wanna Bomb.
Let's go honorable mentions next.
I don't really have any. There was I did have Clerks 3 down here because I was like, I don't really,
Sure.
I haven't watched any of it. I don't
Yeah.
care for it. And then I mentioned one. There was one I'm so confused by. It's called My Special Boy, a Friday the 13th fan film. So
All right.
someone is making, and I don't know where it's going to be released exactly, but a fan film about Friday the 13th.
Yeah, that series is tied up in so many legal issues.
And that's why I'm like, how
it's
are they
gonna
making
be
it?
blocked
So-
from anyone seeing it, I'm sure.
Yeah, but that's my honorable mentions there.
Okay, my honorable mention for Wanna Fail is Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery, which is like the worst title since Ghosts of Georgia Hunting Connecticut 2.
I don't know, John Wick 3, Parabellum.
Parabellum.
Yeah, that was
pretty bad, but-
for a title.
I mean, people really like Knives Out. I wasn't as big a fan as you remember as everyone else. It was a fun little mystery, but now Netflix owns the rights to the next 2 Rian Johnson mystery movies. And I think, he may have a style that probably beats Death on the Nile or Murder on the Orient Express. But at the same time, I think it's just, he's a little too into himself in his own style. I think he gets great casts, and this one really has a great cast. Like, obviously, Daniel Craig is coming back, and Edward Norton's in there, Ethan Hawke, and then Kate Hudson, Bautista. But it'll be a very interesting movie to watch. I didn't really like the mystery in the first one anyways. So,
I liked it, so I'm okay with that one.
yeah. And then I have Black Adam. Don't worry, darling.
I'm sorry. What was that? I couldn't hear you. Can you say it a little louder,
I don't want
please?
The Rock to hear. So,
Dwayne.
Sorry,
It's
Dwayne.
Dwayne.
Sorry, Mr. Johnson. And then The School for Good and Evil. It's a Netflix movie. And Don't Worry, Darling as well. I don't think we'll do very well. It's trying to be the Stepford Wives again. And the Stepford Wives made in the
thought
70s.
that same thing.
Is brilliant. It just is perfect for
Wait,
the
in the
time.
70s, you're saying Nicole Kidman didn't do a good job?
No,
snap.
that's the 90s one.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Yes, I am.
Yeah.
But those are my honorable mentions.
Any
Dan?
honorable mentions from Dan?
My honorable mention was also the Glass Onion. I really enjoyed Daniel Craig's performance
Yes,
in the original Knives
that.
Out.
And
It was so
Anna de
funny.
Armas.
He hates her. He hates Anna de Armas.
I don't hate Anna de Armas.
He likes Chris Evans' sweater, though.
It was very chunkily knit.
It was.
It was an underwhelming story, and a movie that is trying to trick you, and it's trying to trick you, and they know they're trying to trick you, and so all you're doing is looking for things.
Yeah.
It doesn't work for me.
Same.
So I think it'll probably be entertaining, but I'm not excited to see it, and I don't care if it does well.
Right.
Even though I like Rian Johnson.
Okay. So now our number one.
We're just going to stop there. Okay.
Go ahead.
Our number one, least anticipated, want it to bomb movie.
All right, Joel, what do you got?
Mine, it's Avatar: The Way of Water.
Wash your mouth out
Coming
with
out on
soap, young
December
man.
16th.
This is a hot take.
Not at
I mean,
all.
it's not a shocker. Dan, he's been saying this all year.
Yes.
That's
so
fair. I
James
shouldn't be
Cameron, who
surprised.
directed Piranha to The Spawning, is doing this movie, and it's starring Sam Worthington, and that's the biggest name there.
He's an it guy.
It's Zoe Saldana, who she's good.
Yeah.
But a lot of the original cast is coming back. They're also bringing in Jermaine Clement and Vin Diesel.
Stop that. Vin Diesel's not in
Vin
this movie.
Diesel's in this movie.
What?
I'm not
What,
kidding.
what if I
That's
said
it.
Michelle Yeoh's in it?
She's in that. Yeah, she's
Does
there
he
too.
play
Kate
like
Winslet,
the
Aiden
new
Falco.
tree or something? I mean,
I don't know. So here's the plot summary. Jake Sully lives. I hate that they use his full name. Jake Sully lives with his
Jake Sully.
newfound family
That's how they
formed
say
on the
it.
planet Pandora. Once a familiar threat returns to finish what was previously started, Jake must work with the Netiri and the army of Navi race to protect their planet.
Obviously, you don't hold the first one very dear.
No.
Okay?
No.
But what if they could expand the story and make it this really expansive universe?
Don't care.
You don't care at all.
In fact, here's my big problem with this
Okay.
movie is Avatar 2 coming out this year.
Mm-hmm.
Avatar 3 coming out in 2024. Avatar 4 coming out in 2026.
Yeah.
Avatar 5 coming out in 2028. This is cocky, and I want to see it cut. I want to see the legs cut out from underneath it and watch this topple
I
to the
heard
ground.
even though they filmed 2 and 3 together, they're kind of doing a wait and see approach to see if these movies make money,
and I don't want them to.
because then they won't make
fair.
4 and 5.
It's been 13 years since the last Avatar movie, and now they're going to start releasing them every 2 years. Why?
He said it was because he had a full story in mind for the children of Jake Sully and
No, it's
Neytiri.
It's
Neytiri.
because he ran out of solid gold toilet paper, and now it's time for him to get some more. Because this movie is trash. These movies are going to be trash, and I'll tell you why. It's just a marketing ploy. It has no. The first movie has no real substance. It is Pocahontas. It is Fern Gully.
Yeah.
The only reason.
Dances with Wolves.
Yeah, Dance with Wolves. The only reason that it is the highest grossing movie of all time is because tickets were 3 times the cost of regular tickets. The
But-
3D
but-
made it big. They're
Spectacle.
Fact.
Spectacle.
Fact.
100%.
80% of the theatrical revenue from the film came from 3D ticket sales.
So the first
that is
time,
why it's
the first
inflated.
time I saw Avatar way back in the day, I didn't see it 3D
Oh, you
or
didn't?
IMAX.
Really?
And I went, that's okay.
Yeah.
Like I didn't really care. And I saw 3D because it's a movie made for 3D, and I was blown away.
And are they doing the 3D for this one?
They
Yes,
have to.
They are.
So they're bringing the glasses
And
back.
they're doing high frame rate.
Are-
They're doing
Okay,
it in like
but
3
Joel,
or
will
4 different
audiences
ways.
will audiences still go for that
Yes.
like they did back in
I will.
2008?
Yes, and I'll tell you why. Because we're now used to an age where CG is so bad in major blockbusters, and he's going to do it right here. It's going to look amazing.
Have you seen the trailer?
Yeah, I think it looks great.
It
what?
looks the same as it did in 2008.
And it was better then than movies are now.
In the words of Fry from Futurama, shut up and take my money.
I will, because I want this to bomb. I want to see the Avatar. They have the whole Avatar world, which they just made like 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
Let's talk about the history. It's so weird because when Avatar came out the opening weekend, it made like 40 something million.
No, it was like
dollars.
70. It wasn't a record breaker.
Right,
but
and they
it
were
was-
like, "Oh, this is a failure," and then word of mouth made this movie what it was.
because
it
everyone
made
was going, you got to
$70
go see the
million
3D.
for like 9 weeks in a row.
right,
Because everyone wasn't saying this movie's so good, they're going to say, you got to check out this 3D. It's really cool. And it was. It was
It
really
was.
cool. I don't care about the story, but as an experience, that was pretty cool.
it's now post-ironic enjoyable. Because I agree, no one really cared about this movie until they're like, "Oh, there's a new Avatar movie come out." I think it's okay to like that again.
It is okay. I still loved it.
Until I see the movie and I'm like, "Oh, go away forever."
Yeah.
Speaking of scores, I'm
Oh,
anxious
absolutely.
how they're gonna do it without James Horner because
Yeah.
his was awesome.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Joel, that's a good pick.
I went
but
out
don't
a long
agree.
time. So.
Yeah.
I respect it.
All right, my number one movie that I want to bomb. It's kind of a shocker, but it's Halloween Ends.
Well, because you really
Mine
didn't like the
too.
last
Is it
one.
really?
Spoiler. I
Okay,
had
finger
that.
boob. We
That
do
was-
finger boobs, Dan.
Wait, you guys both have the same one?
I literally had Halloween Ends.
your number one?
That was my number one.
Did you
wow,
see
okay.
Halloween Kills?
I did not.
Okay. I was shocked you have this on your list. then.
Confession.
Yeah.
I have never seen a Halloween movie
Wait, so
in the
hold on.
45
any
years
of
that
them?
it's never any
Wait,
of them.
So you're just being like kind of savage.
I'm just tired of it. Like
because
really?
franchises need to go away like this. Is
Yeah.
that what you're saying?
Make it go away.
Dan, I know horror is not your thing, right? But it's almost October.
Yes.
The
And yet
first-
it's yours.
Okay. Listen, I'll defend myself and hate the movie at the same time.
All right, go ahead. I'm
But the
sorry,
first
I'm interrupting.
Halloween is a legacy horror film.
I do like the first one a lot.
It is amazing. Quintessential, even. Granted, have they rebooted a million times? Yes. But in 2018, when they rebooted the series, 2018 or 19,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that was shockingly good. Right? Shockingly good. Not great, but good. And then they're like, we have a trilogy planned for these movies. And then Kills came out last year. And who boy. Sometimes in my nightmares, or if I just want to get angry, right? I'll just think of 3 words, evil dies tonight, that they say 1 million times in this movie. Joel, you haven't seen this yet,
No,
right?
I haven't yet.
It is so frustrating as a movie and drops the ball entirely. And it's such a horrible movie. The trailer on this one looks worse. The synopsis: the saga of Michael Myers and Laurie Strode, once again played by legendary actress Jamie Lee Curtis, comes to a spine-chilling climax in this final installment of the franchise.
Where
yeah, right.
have we
And
heard
I'd
that
buy
before?
that. I'd buy that if it didn't already happen in Halloween 2 and Halloween H2O.
Yeah.
And
Rob Zombie's Halloween?
Well, she wasn't in that
Now,
one.
she did say that this is the final time she'll be appearing in a Halloween movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, she's getting
Cha-ching, tell the price
she's
is
getting
right.
the yogurt money now.
She was getting that for a long time.
What is that yogurt called again?
Activia.
Yeah, she's getting
Yogurt that
Activia
helps you
money.
poop.
Hello.
But yeah, this
Family
takes
friendly.
place 4 years from the second movie to now. Who cares?
4 years?
4-year time jump.
Wow.
I don't want to spoiler, but does the movie end in a way that can allow for 4 years?
Who cares?
I do a little bit.
You watch it and then hate it.
Okay.
Yeah, Halloween ends.
Hate
So you guys both picked that for your number
Yeah,
one.
absolutely.
I did, yep. Shocking.
Fine.
Yeah, good pick.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, we've been a little negative. As we do on these shows, we want to go positive, maybe when people have already stopped listening. So for this back half, we're going to go with our 5 most anticipated movies till the end of the year. These could be award winners. These could be the big blockbusters that we all need to see.
Yeah.
So, Joel,
Yes.
could you give us your 5 most anticipated movie? Your 5th.
You bet.
Your 5th.
My number 5 most anticipated want to see before the end of the year is Lyle Crocodile. Shawn Mendes is the voice of the crocodile, guys.
So, Dan, Joel does this thing where it's called a Joel joke.
Right.
We don't get it. We're always a little surprised. I hear this movie's supposed to be good.
Lyle Crocodile?
I bet it puts you in stitches.
No, my number 5 pick is actually one called Dead for a Dollar. Now, lest you think, no, this is not the remake of Trusting is Good, Shooting is Better, the 1968 spaghetti western starring George Hilton, nor is it a remake of Dead for a Dollar, the 1998 TV movie starring Emilio Estevez.
Oh, I thought it would be. Darn it.
No, this stars Christoph Waltz, Willem Dafoe, Benjamin Pratt, and Rachel Brosnahan, and it's directed by Walter Hill, who did 48 Hours, Another 48 Hours,
Yeah.
Brewster's Millions.
Wow. Bunch of movies from the 90s, too.
Yeah. And so he did some stuff there, but the plot summary is this. The film follows a famed bounty hunter who runs into his sworn enemy, a professional gambler and outlaw that he sent to prison years before. The cast is what really sold me on this film, like
Yeah,
seeing
I agree.
Christoph Waltz and Willem Dafoe in a Western. I'm like,
Truly.
this could be good.
Right.
And I did read a little more in, you know me, I like to avoid spoilers, but I did read a little more into the story, and I don't want to get into it here, but I kind of went, okay, that sounds intriguing.
I've never even heard of it.
And this is supposed
Who
to
are
come
you?
out- well, this is supposed to come out on September 30th. We still don't have a trailer. So I'm still wondering if it actually will come out September 30th, but I'm hoping this year to see Dead for a Dollar.
All right.
Or wait till Clear Play.
It'll show up on our local streaming services. Brand new movie.
Yeah, most likely.
Yeah.
My 5th movie is The Banshees of Inisherin.
Yeah. Inisherin.
This comes out October 21st. The synopsis is 2 lifelong friends find themselves at an impasse when one abruptly ends their relationship with alarming consequences for both of them. Weird synopsis. Also, very weird trailer. This is directed by Martin McDonagh, who did 3 Billboards, 7 Psychopaths, and In Bruges. In Bruges, an absolutely amazing movie.
I really like
Yes.
Bruges.
Yeah, and I love 7 Psychopaths, very meta movie. And then 3 Billboards, Oscar winner.
You
obviously.
like 7 Psychopaths?
Love it.
Really?
Okay, really like it. Yeah, because it knows what it is.
Okay.
It's weird.
That's fair.
I didn't really like it.
The actors are Colin Farrell, Brendan Gleeson, who were also co-starring in Bruges. They are perfect
Reunited,
together. The
and it
trailer
feels so good.
is so bizarre, though. It's a quiet Irish coastal movie,
It looks good.
but
Yeah.
it's about this friendship where there's actual consequences when one guy is just like, "Please don't talk to me anymore. I cannot stand you."
And the other guy doesn't know why.
He's like, but we're friends. But we're friends. And he won't leave him alone. We're friends, right? And it feels like a really short story kind of concept. So I'm interested to see what happens. I'm a little worried that it may be just horrible.
I hope it's
I'm
not,
not horrible
I
in
hope
quality.
it's not too dark.
Yeah,
and
dark
And
is
they
what I'm trying to
keep
say.
The,
Well, but no, that's
the
a lot of-
rhythm that he has of humor mixed with like a little bit of seriousness.
Yes.
Yeah, he does
They
dark
balanced
humor.
it really well in 3 Billboards.
Yes.
I thought.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
So yeah, really looking forward to that one.
Yeah.
Dan, what do you got for number 5?
Number 5 is Empire of Light, directed by Sam Mendes, the
Okay.
Oscar winner of American Beauty, which is meh, but he also made
Meh.
Road to Perdition
Great.
and 1917
And Bond.
and
Skyfall.
two or three Bonds. Anyways, great director, really like him. This movie, the plot is set in an English seaside town in the early 1980s. Empire of Light is a powerful and poignant story about human connection and the magic of cinema. from Academy Award-winning director Sam Mendes.
Doesn't say much.
It
What,
doesn't.
Empire of Light? Is that what you
Yes,
said?
I watched the trailer. It's got Toby Jones and Olivia Colman.
Oh, okay. This is an Oscar pick for sure.
Yeah. So it's
Oh,
about.
I did see the trailer
He's
for that.
It's basically a projectionist in a movie theater.
Yeah. Okay.
And how he's the Empire of Light because of the flickering light on a movie screen.
You don't see the darkness.
I used to be a projectionist in the 90s.
Yeah, you were.
At a movie theater.
See, it's not being a movie.
I used to put the movies together. And anyways, I was that guy. And I love to see the light. Like, that's really where I deepened my love for movies and stuff. So seeing this and seeing how it relates, and the trailer's just mysterious enough that you can't tell if it's a happy movie about movies or if it's this forbidden romance because it takes place in the 80s and it's an older woman and a younger man and it looks like a forbidden romance or something like that or taboo, whatever it might
In the
be.
80s, that was fine. It was okay.
That's right. So it really caught my interest and I'm really looking forward to that one. Love Sam Mendes.
Yeah.
Willing to give it a go.
And it's a love of film type movie.
And I do love
Oscar winner for sure.
I love of movies.
Yes. All right, Joel, what do you have for number 4?
My number 4 is Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. I don't know much about it, but my kids love it, and I figure blood means family
You know
and
what? Don't
honey's
screen
sweet.
this one.
Hey,
Just
blood is
just
thicker
watch
than
it with
water.
them.
Blood is thick, though. It's family and fun. That's what it is. No, my number 4 is Amsterdam, which
Yes.
October 7th it comes out. Directed by David O. Russell, who did Silver Linings Playbook, which I love.
It's been a while since I've seen a movie of his.
The Fighter, American Hustle was his
Yeah.
as well. And there's the
not made
thing.
one for a
It
long time.
stars, the starring list for this: Christian Bale, Margot Robbie, John David Washington, Chris Rock, Anya Taylor-Joy, Zoe Saldana, Mike Myers, Michael Shannon, Timothy Olyphant, Taylor Swift, Rami Malek, and Robert De Niro. That's a smattering of different stars there. And, it's an ensemble cast, which could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. But I watched the trailer and I went, what is this movie?
Yeah.
Plot summary. Set in the 30s, it follows 3 friends who witness a murder, become suspects themselves, and uncover one of the most outrageous plots in American history. Now, it is one of those, how much it's inspired by a true story, but how much of it is inspired by a true story. The trailer was quirky and intriguing. Christian Bale's looking kind of old, actually.
Yeah,
in it.
he is.
I don't know if that was intentional or not, but
he actually aged for the role.
Yeah.
He's such a method actor.
Yeah.
So good. He's so good.
So good at that.
You got to bring that youth back,
I knew
though.
nothing about this movie when I started researching for this episode, but after watching the trailer, I was like, yeah, number 4. I want to see this Amsterdam because it looks good.
Could be good.
Yeah.
All right, my number 4 is The Menu. Have you guys seen this trailer?
Oh, yes.
With the clapping and Voldemort.
Hint, we already talked about this plot point.
Yeah. Ray
Maybe.
Fiennes.
So this is about Wicked, actually. It's the other ride at Lagoon.
Yeah. Yeah. Is there a ride called Greed and Rich?
No, I can't. Yeah. So this one comes out November 18th. And the synopsis is: a young couple travel to a remote island to eat at an exclusive restaurant where the chef has prepared a lavish menu with some shocking surprises.
Dun, dun,
Sounds like
dun.
a comedy, right? Could be a Happy Madison movie. This has Anya Taylor-Joy,
Nicholas Holt.
Nicholas Holt, Ray Fiennes as the chef, and it's this weird it's like the Most Dangerous Game, but with like this crazy chef. And I'm not sure where it's going to go.
Yeah. It could go to that ride at Lagoon.
Totally.
We don't know.
The skyscraper, right?
Yeah.
that one.
Exactly.
The San Antonio Screamer. Why is it called San Antonio?
I don't know. Why did you say San Antonio? Is it not called San Antonio Screamer?
Isn't it not?
Centennial
Screamer. What? Someone note that. San Antonio.
San Antonio. You worked there, man.
Yeah, that's awesome.
He was in the water park.
Yeah, I was
not allowed to ride the rides.
lifeguard. Anyways, this is directed by the guy who's done a lot of TV work like Game of Thrones and Succession, which is kind of a really popular show now, a really tense show.
Right.
And I feel like that's what The Menu will do well, is bring that tension, and we'll see if it goes really grim, gory, or just thrilling.
Yeah.
But I'm very intrigued.
It looks intriguing.
Yeah.
It could work if they don't go on the ride at Lagoon, and it just becomes.
Or it's the San Antonio Screamer.
It could work. And
Yeah.
if it turns into they're just a bunch of crazy people. So
Yeah.
that could be fun. I agree.
All right, Dan, what do you have for number 4?
My number 4. I don't know that you guys may have heard of it. Avatar: The Way of Water. I am excited. We talked about it. I won't go into too much detail, but I'm really excited to see what advances have been made in technology. The fact that it's filmed underwater with motion capture sounds really intriguing.
Kate
to me.
Winslet held her
Aquaman
breath
did
for
that.
almost 7 minutes.
She has the world record.
Yeah.
She beat
for
Tom
longest.
Cruise.
She
Yeah.
did. She beat Tom Cruise.
That's
so-
why I wanted to flop again.
And they're releasing it in like all these different formats, of course, to get my money, which they'll have in multiple times, but like a high frame rate in 3D. A
So
high
Joel,
frame
you just
rate
have
in
to
3D,
kidnap
like,
Dan and not let him go to the movies for like 3
I will
weeks.
personally make it so that they make all 5
There
of those
needs
sequels.
to be an asterisk next to Avatar being the highest grossing movie of all time, because 3 times the ticket price automatically puts you pretty high.
It
Yeah,
does.
but also remember the whole controversy with Avengers Endgame, where they re-released with bad footage to try to beat Avatar.
But they re-released. the movie.
they've done the
They're
same
re-releasing
game.
Avatar.
It's still the
Yes,
same
they are
price.
again.
in September. I'm going to take my kids so they can see it on the big screen.
Joel's not pleased with you, Dan.
Take my money.
No.
They're gonna.
So my number 3 is Puss in Boots: The Last Wish.
Could be good.
It's been 11 years since we've had a Puss in Boots movie spin-off.
I think the animation style looks incredible.
This isn't my pick, Kent. You know that.
I know, but I'm saying of your Joel jokes, I would actually be willing to see this one.
I would see that.
Yeah.
If I'm not willing, if I'm bugged at Avatar for waiting 13 years to do a sequel, you think I'm okay with Puss in Boots, the spin-off?
It's only 11.
Wait, 11 years. No one's asking for this. No, my number 3 pick is actually The Banshees of Inisherin.
Oh, okay.
I think In Bruges it was fabulous. It was this dark comedy about these assassins. This assassin who's kind of losing his edge.
Yep.
I think this is one that I'm going to really enjoy. This isn't going to be a huge moneymaker.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's going to be even like a success, but I do want to see it. So
Yeah,
The
totally.
Banshees of Inisherin comes out October 21st.
My number 3 is a cheat, if that's okay.
I cheated.
It's 8 movies.
That is a cheat. That's
it's
worse
a
than
cheat.
mine.
It's a Netflix release, and
Oh.
it's Guillermo del Toro's Cabinet of Curiosities.
Yeah.
So this is seen as episodes instead of movies, but these are movies being released.
I didn't know we could do TV shows.
But it's movies though.
It's Netflix.
Yeah, Netflix just gets away with whatever they want.
Yeah.
So this starts October 25th, and what they're doing here is the 25th, 26th, 27th, and 28th. They're releasing 2 episodes or 2 movies a night. Because Netflix doesn't know how to schedule things
No.
or be normal.
All or nothing, all at once.
Where they could be like, hey guys, welcome to the first week of October. We're going to release 2 movies for you to watch this weekend and talk about. And they could do everything the subsequent weeks, but they do it in 4 days right before Halloween. It's actually too much all at once. And I feel like this will be kind of longer form Tales from the Crypt episodes, but they got some amazing directors. So this is an anthology of sinister stories told by some of today's most revered horror creators. And this is the directors of The Babadook, Splice, Mandy, and many, many more. This is Guillermo del Toro. He's introducing each of these stories. He's being a Rod Serling type. And from the trailers,
Taking a cue from Jordan Peele with the new Twilight
which
Zone.
didn't really work out. But I think the trailers, the visuals of these scary movies, short movies, look really good. And 2 of them are H.P. Lovecraft stories. 2 of them are Del Toro originals.
Yeah.
Nice.
Very, very excited. And this is part of Netflix is kind of in on the joke. They're calling it the Netflix and Chills Halloween event. I love it.
Come on.
I mean, but Chills
right,
like
so
scary.
I do like this idea, though.
Yeah.
Of different directors
But
taking
it's like
on horror.
right before Halloween, it's very stressful. Like whether you're putting a costume together or trying to get candy or trying to watch all your scary movies right before the end.
Yep.
And there's 8 movies to watch all at once. It's too much.
When does it come out?
It's the 25th going through the 28th.
That's not
October?
even 8 days before the 31st.
Yeah, of
Oh,
October.
I thought you said it was in September.
No, October.
They were smart.
Right
They do it
before.
in September.
Netflix doesn't know what they're doing.
They don't.
No.
They're like, hey, we have a 9-hour episode of Stranger Things.
I noticed
Here
that
you
too.
go.
A lot of these, there was a lot of horror movies that were releasing on the 31st, and I'm like, are you idiots?
Yeah.
Release at the beginning.
It's not
of
a good
October.
idea.
Yeah, but yeah.
All right, Dan, what do you have for your
Del
number
Toro,
3?
stick to your wheelhouse. That's in his wheelhouse. Don't
True.
do Pinocchio.
Yes.
My number 3 is Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Plot synopsis: the nation of Wakanda is pitted against intervening world powers as they mourn the loss of their king T'Challa. As we know, Chadwick Boseman tragically passed away from his colon cancer a couple of years ago. It's going to be good. I love Ryan Coogler.
Yes.
He is one of my top 5 current directors working. I would say I love.
For what reasons?
I loved Creed. I love his storytelling.
Okay.
Loved Creed.
I like Creed a lot,
I
too.
did.
You can like Creed a lot. Love Creed.
I loved Creed.
I'm watching the original Rockies again with my kids, and they're like, "Are there more to
Fruitvale.
this?" I'm like,
No, you should.
Fruitvale Station was powerful.
It is.
Loved that and loved the original Black Panther. I'd never seen anything like it. It really opened.
Even the end of the movie?
You'd never seen an origin story of a superhero before? Never seen anything like it?
I'd
With some
never
comedic
seen
jabs after action scenes.
I'd never seen African culture portrayed. In
Yeah, no,
that
it was a different kind
fantastic-
of superhero
in
movie.
That fantastic.
Wakanda doesn't exist.
I know, but
It's not a real country.
it could be.
It made such an
It's
impact
hidden.
on the genre.
It did.
Right.
And I loved it. And I'm really looking forward to this, and I think it'll be cathartic.
The thing that bothers me, and maybe it's just because I haven't watched, I don't know if there's been additional trailers.
There's been the one.
There's been the one, but it wasn't a trailer for the movie. It was basically
In memoriam.
It was in memoriam for Chadwick Boseman, which I was like, yeah, it's a good tribute, but I want to know more about the movie, not,
there was hints. There was hints.
yeah, a global threat.
So, can we talk about who the villain is in this movie? Should we not spoil anything?
I actually don't know who the villain
I don't
is,
know
but
who the
I
villain is
know
either.
I know what some of the conflict will be.
It's Aquaman, essentially.
What?
Namor.
Namor.
The
Oh,
Submariner.
he was in the first one. No, he was an Aquaman.
No, he's Marvel's version of Aquaman.
Yeah, but I remember, wasn't there a guy in the Aquaman, the evil stingray? What is his name?
Oh,
with the black outfit.
That was Black Manta.
That's right.
Yeah, on the nose name, Black Manta.
Yeah, I would love to see Black Panther versus Black Manta.
Anyways, I'm really excited.
I think there's some real art to the trailer.
Yep.
I think he is a premier director for the MCU when they usually get
Yes,
TV guys.
exactly.
I predicted it to be the most successful movie of the year, not knowing that Top Gun was going to be a thing.
$1 billion thing.
Right.
Yeah. So,
But no, this will make $1 billion, I predict.
I think
You think?
with
think-
Ryan
I think
Coogler
so.
still at the helm.
Yeah.
Even though I know the reins are tight in the MCU, I'm really looking forward to
I
it.
hope it's a
800 million.
standalone.
That's what I'll say.
Okay.
800 million.
I hope it's a standalone experience that doesn't need to tease too many other Marvel projects.
Yeah.
Well, it's the end of Phase 4, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes. So that's my number 3.
Okay.
Wakanda Forever.
Okay.
Joel, you're number 2.
My number 2 is RIPD2, Rise of the Darned. Well, it's not darned.
Wait, that's a real movie?
Yes.
Obviously not with Jeff Bridges and Ryan Reynolds.
I don't know. I didn't look that much into it because it's not what I'm picking. But, the first one was so bad that maybe this one will be good. My real number 2
Bacon.
comes
Yeah.
out on September 16th, and it's See How They Run.
Oh, yeah. This comes out pretty soon, actually.
Yeah,
Yes,
directed by
yes.
Ryan, not Ryan George, Tom George. Directed by Ryan George would be fun. But it stars Sam Rockwell, Saoirse Ronan, and Adrian Brody. The synopsis says, in the West End of 1950s London, plans for a movie version of a smash hit play come to an abrupt halt after a pivotal member of one of the crew is murdered. The trailer's once again what sold me on this. I love the, kind of the ensemble cast, but it looks like a farcical play. It has kind of a, and I'm going to say this, and it's going to turn Kent off to this movie, but it has kind of a Wes Anderson
It does.
feel to it.
Yes.
But it's not Wes Anderson. So I think this one looks fun. I want to see it. I'm excited to see where it goes. See How They Run.
Yeah.
It
It looks really good.
I'm always happy to support Saoirse Ronan.
Saw that play in the high school and during high school. It was fun. I think the story is good. And Sam Rockwell, can you really go wrong with
You
Sam
can't.
Rockwell?
I'm trying to think of anything
fan.
he's
You can't.
bad in.
You can't.
He's just good.
He's no Sam Worthington.
Quiet, Jake Sully.
My number 2 pick is Avatar Way of the Water.
You wanted that to...
This is a straight up...
For being a guy who hates the mainstream, Kent,
Sure.
you just jumped into the deep end of the
Okay, but
mainstream.
hear me out, right? It's been a while since we've had tentpole movies that haven't been Star Wars or Marvel. Like, I'm so tired of the cape flicks and the boring Star Wars TV shows that Avatar
I'm trying to think of anyone who has a
needs
cape
to
in the Marvel
reclaim
universe.
its rightful
Thor.
place in pop culture. I'm not saying I want to see 3, 4, or 5. I don't. But I want to see a follow-up to this story. I didn't love the first one, but this is a curiosity choice because what can they pull off?
Can I recap what you just said?
Yeah.
I'm so tired of just them churning out superhero movies. What I want to see is a sequel to a movie I didn't really care about.
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense,
But
man.
It's the craft of
I
the
want
art.
I want the variety. I want someone with James Cameron's eye to direct a
Director
movie
of Piranha
again.
2.
That's okay, but Terminator 2.
Oh, that's right. Yes, that. Yeah.
Terminator 2.
Someone with actual craftsmanship that maybe borrowed 19 different stories in the first movie, but that actually cares about what he's making and he's the boss, right? He is the one. There's no one interfering. There's no. I mean, I can't really defend it because the sequels they already exhaust me, right? But maybe this one could be.
But wouldn't it be funny if it failed? If they have this
Okay,
plan out to
honestly-
2028 and then it's like, oh, never mind. We're just stopping in
It would be
2022.
hilarious if it makes like 170 million.
It's not going to make that little
But yeah, that's my second pick.
Nice.
for want to succeed.
Yeah. Dan?
My number 2 was shocker here, Banshees of Inisherin.
Okay. We're all agreed.
We're all on the same page that we want to see
That one all-
and
it
we
appealed
want
to
it
all
to
of
do
us.
good. No need to beat a dead horse here.
Which I think they do in the movie.
They probably do.
Probably do.
All right,
now we're-
honorable mentions.
Let's do some honorable
It's a
mentions.
donkey, actually.
Oh. Why'd I get more sad about a donkey than a horse?
Yes.
I feel like I'm on. I don't know why I just let Kent bring on these guests that step in line with everything he's thinking.
It's so unintentional.
Just because you like Avatar.
No, because I'm picking for my honorable mention Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery
Okay.
for one I want to see because I enjoyed the first one.
Yeah, and you're probably curious to see if he can like maintain the quality.
I'll still watch it.
Quality
I
with a
don't know,
question
quality
mark?
with quality with a question mark. I did put Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio because
Okay.
I'm more excited to see that one than I am the Disney one.
Gotcha.
Right.
I did put I put Black Panther Wakanda Forever in there as well because it's not like I'm like, oh, I can't wait to see it, but I'm like, hey, I want to. And then I also did put in Black Adam, Kent, only because it has been so
Advertised
yeah.
for 4 years?
Yes, that I'm like
Here's your first look at Black Adam.
I'm excited to see that end. So that's my anticipation.
No, they're saying
Let's
this is
get
the
it out of the way.
beginning of the new DCEU.
I doubt it.
The power dynamic's about to change.
I doubt
That's my rock. It's about as good
That
as my
was
Ewan-
your rock?
It's about as good as my Ewan McGregor.
I thought your Ewan was a little more accurate.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate
Those
it.
are my honorable mentions. Kent?
All right, Amsterdam. Very excited to see, although I don't know much about it. Decision to Leave. This is a Korean film. It's a crime thriller, but a romance as well, where
Does it have any rides at Lagoon?
it's actually what happens at like 10:30 when you start to get annoyed with all the teens and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
Guys, let's make the decision to leave.
Yeah.
The Son from the director of The Father, but it's not a continuation, but it has Hugh Jackman.
right.
It's a family drama.
Oh.
Creed 3 is coming out this year. Not directed by
What?
Ryan Coogler, but it's directed by Michael B. Jordan.
For real?
Yeah.
I did
Dan
not
just
know
got
that.
real excited.
Okay.
And then Disenchanted,
Oh, with the Enchanted sequel.
which
that
I
the
don't
sequel to
I
Enchanted?
don't know if it will come out, but
I don't think it's going to come out this year. I doubt it.
yeah, I haven't seen anything about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But those are my honorable mentions. Dan?
I have quite a few here. Babylon is
Okay.
the new one
AD?
by Damien Chazelle. About
Kent's in.
early
I'm in.
100 years ago, early Hollywood
Yes.
stories based on true life.
That's going to be nominated for an Oscar.
The Fablemans, Spielberg's new movie.
Yeah, it's like Spielberg kind of doing an adaptation of his life. Like
Yeah, his life,
semi-autobiographical.
like growing up in post-war Arizona.
Seth Rogen's in it.
He's gonna be Spielberg. I have no doubt.
E.T.
The Whale, directed by Darren
Brendan
Aronofsky.
Now,
Fraser.
is that actually coming out this year?
It is.
Because this is, Brendan Fraser's like chance at a Best
Yeah.
Actor nomination,
Yeah,
right?
Plays a super overweight guy trying to reconcile with his daughter,
Yeah.
Yeah.
who lives in Idaho.
Okay.
there you go.
Sounds enthralling.
Yeah, there's a throwback to 90s rom-coms with Julia Roberts and George Clooney called Ticket to Paradise.
Yeah.
Definitely a throwback feel to that one.
Looks fun. I'm up for it. And a couple others. Tar by Todd Field.
Oh, about the conductor?
Crazy trailer.
With Kate Blanchett as a orchestra conductor, symphony conductor.
Yeah.
I got
don't
a
know.
Black Swan vibe from this one.
I cannot get excited about a movie about a famous conductor. I don't know why.
Maybe there's going to be some great music in it.
Could be.
That's what I'm hoping for. And then Don't Worry, Darling.
Okay.
I'm intrigued enough to see because I like Chris Pine a lot.
Yeah, so do I.
So
He's in that?
Yeah.
he is.
All I've heard is Harry Styles.
He plays kind of like the leader of the community, kind of a cult-ish leader.
That's right. He is in the trailer.
Yeah.
But it's your girl, too.
Florence Pugh actually
Yeah.
doesn't, or Pugh. Florence Pugh.
Blood and Honey.
Yeah. Florence Pugh, Blood and Honey.
Yes.
She actually she's not doing any promotion for this movie. She's not proud of it whatsoever.
Really?
Yeah, there's a lot of bad press with this movie.
Well, I think her and Olivia are not getting along.
Not getting along very well.
Final one, The Greatest Beer Run
Oh,
Ever
that
by-
one looks good.
This
by
is
the
Peter
Farrelly brothers.
Farrelly, right?
The Farrelly brothers
His
from Dumb and
follow-up to
Dumber.
the Oscar winner
Yes.
Green Book.
No, but that's
The Oscar-winning directors of Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah, but it's
I will never
Zac
say that
Efron.
enough.
It's Zac Efron. It's based on a true story
Russell
about,
Crowe
a, guy,
as well.
And Russell
about a
Crowe.
guy that decides to take beer to his buddies who are over in Vietnam during the Vietnam War, and it's based on a true story.
Yep.
It was
Is
kind of-
this meant to be like a slapstick comedy or like
No.
a heartfelt
No,
comedy?
I watched the trailer and it's a mix of comedy and
It feels
serious.
like Good Morning
Like-
Vietnam, where it
like
starts off goofy.
It starts off as a joke and then they're like, this isn't a joke,
yeah,
man.
it's like he gets there and sees the horrors of war.
Wow.
So could be
Zac
good.
Efron could use a win, don't you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because where's he been?
I don't know, but we're all in this together.
He's been making reality TV shows.
He's not going to stop. Not going to stop till he gets a shot.
Got to get his head in the game.
Get your head in the game.
All right, so we're to our number one most anticipated movie.
Number
Joel,
one.
Wonder
Number
if
one.
we have the same choice.
Well, this shouldn't be a shock for anyone if they know me, because my number one pick is a documentary called Cat Daddies.
Wait, so it's about me?
Yes, a documentary about Ken. No, it's literally like that's a documentary about these guys who like cats, and I'm like, you're doing a documentary about
What's
that?
wrong with guys who like cats?
You should watch the trailer for the documentary. There's a stigma against them. No, that's not my pick.
Cat Daddies.
But you should watch the trailer for Cat Daddies. My number one pick is Weird, the Al Yankovic story.
Okay.
So I doubt we have the same
Where's
one.
it being released?
The Roku channel.
What?
So I want to bring this back because back when I originally heard about this, I was like, you're telling me Daniel Radcliffe, Harry Potter, is playing Weird Al Yankovic? What kind of movie is this going to be? Mm-hmm. And then I saw the trailer and I went, oh, that's the kind of movie it's going to be.
Right.
So the plot synopsis explores every facet of Yankovic's life. From his meteoric rise to fame with early hits like Eat It and Like a Surgeon to his torrid celebrity love affairs and famously depraved lifestyle, which is funny because it's not at all. He's a nice guy who loved his parents. He's a vegetarian. He's kind to everybody. Like he's just a super nice guy. But they're making him out to be this like hedonistic rock god.
So they show a subplot with Madonna in the
totally
trailer.
fabricated.
I hope so.
Like he played.
Why did they do that?
No, this is.
Well, he did have a relationship with her at some point.
He did?
I don't know if they had a relationship, but okay. Anyway, point being is this is a spoof. This is a spoof on biopics. And it's gonna be funny. It's gonna be clever. It's gonna have, from what I can understand, kind of a UHF feel to it, where it's not taking itself seriously. And the joke comes from the fact that there's no way that we'd all live this life, and everyone knows that. This could be the next UHF for all I know. But this is actually based on a 2010 Funny or Die fake trailer that was starred Aaron Paul as Weird Al. It was like this really serious kind of like. And it was directed by the same guy, Eric Appel, who's directing the movie.
Okay.
And I
think the worst part will be Daniel Radcliffe, even though he looks to be having the time of his life.
And that's what
I can't not see Daniel Radcliffe.
No, and that's why I think that they're not even trying to do it. Like he doesn't even really look like Weird Al.
Right.
It's like a horrible wig.
Yeah. But I think that's
He has
intentional.
abs.
And it made me laugh.
Short guy with abs.
The trailer made me laugh multiple times, and I do follow Weird Al Yankovic on social media, and he's promoting it as well.
Okay.
It's all kind of funny stuff. So yeah.
On the Roku channel.
On the Roku channel,
when
November 4th.
When a movie ends and you're kind of laying there and you're like playing on your phone or like you're cuddling with someone, and all of a sudden the purple screen of Roku City passes by.
Yep.
And then you see like a little a billboard with like a movie that came out 19 years ago. When you see the weird billboard,
the Al Yankovic story.
you're like, I should watch that right now. It's 3 a.m.
Yeah.
So weird.
I'm
I do
seriously
have a
hoping
Roku.
for a Stanley Spadowski cameo.
Oh.
Yes. Yeah.
Do you mind
Please.
to come back? So yes, I do own a Roku, and so I think I know how to get the Roku channel, but I'm not entirely sure. But I will find a way to watch this.
I feel like they'll pass this movie out like it's AOL discs back in the 90s.
Yeah.
Just watch our movie, I guess. I don't know. That's great. So my choice has been said, but I want to give a little more detail. It's Babylon, obviously.
Nice.
This is a very Kent choice because it's a Damien Chazelle movie. Now, I didn't love First Man, and I really hyped that movie up back in the day. But
It's better than Whiplash. Boom.
Whoa.
Throwing down
Nope.
here.
Disagree.
Dan, the show's almost done. So we're
You
gonna
were
end
doing
this very
so good, Dan, until this point.
Whiplash.
We're going to
is-
invite you to
We're
leave.
going to have to bring Zack back now.
Zach, where are you?
Why
Whiplash
didn't I know?
is a masterpiece. Straight up masterpiece.
Talk about Babylon. Tell people what it's about.
Babylon.
So there's this drummer, right? And he's this aspirational drummer. And he wants to go to this prestigious school. It's the
That's
best
not-
school in the nation. But the
that-
teacher is so harsh.
You're confusing
And Dan,
the
you're
listener.
missing the point.
You're confusing the listener.
It's about perfection. Sometimes a good job's not enough.
Kent, good job. Now talk about the movie.
Those are the 2 worst words you could say. Anyway, so Babylon, yeah, like you said, it's set in Hollywood during the transition from silent films to talkies. We've seen this before in like The Artist, for example. This is going to be, I think, a very dark take on it. Whereas I think The Artist was a little bit more meta as far as the way it transitioned. I think this is going to show the grimy side of Hollywood at the time, where they showed everything at that time to be squeaky clean.
Yeah.
But there were horrible parties, horrible people. I'm a little worried this is going to be rated R, to be honest.
You're a little worried.
Wouldn't
it's gonna
surprise
be?
me.
But I mean, after La La Land and First Man, I can see Damien Chazelle being like, hey, everyone go see my movies. And if he makes a grimy movie about Hollywood back in the day, I feel like not as many people are going to see it.
Hey, Kent, who's in this movie?
I mean, who do you want me to start with? Like, it's like
Margot Robbie. Start with Margot Robbie.
Margot Robbie. But also Brad Pitt, who was my non-sexual male crush
Flea.
from 20 years ago.
Who?
Flea.
Flea's in it.
Oh,
Flea from Kenobi, Star Wars story.
right.
That's right.
But yeah, I mean, the cast outside of Flea is really good. Tobey Maguire, who probably reprises his role from The Great Gatsby. Let's be honest.
Probably.
I am so excited for this movie. I've been waiting a long time. I think this will be one of those Oscar movies. I'm hoping I'm not overhyping it myself. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because First Man was that kind of experience for me.
I haven't heard a lot about this movie.
It was a very measured
Yes.
hype for you.
So the problem with this one is they know what kind of movie it is. They know that they're going for Oscars, and so it's being released. This is kind of a cheat, but January 6th of 2023. But they always do that because they're like, but 2 weeks before that.
In New York and LA.
Yeah, New York and LA. It's
being released on Christmas,
yes.
2022.
Yeah.
Which, once again, who's going to go see Babylon on Christmas Day?
I'm going to take my kids.
After Pooh, Blood and Honey. Right?
Double feature.
Okay.
So-
can you do a pause when you say that title again? it just forgive this pun. It came out wrong.
No.
Oh, man. Okay. Dan, what's your number one most anticipated movie?
It's weird. The Al Yankovic story.
Is it?
I thought I was
All right.
going to be clever.
Dan,
going
you're
for
back on
number
the
one.
show.
No, you're not.
Yes, take it, Zach. I love Weird Al. He's the most underrated musician.
I agree.
In my opinion.
And it's funny because someone actually did come to me and they were concerned about this movie. They're like, I don't like how it's portraying him as kind of a jerk. And I was like, that's the
It's
joke.
hilarious that
Yeah.
they're doing that. So
Because he's just a super nice guy. Everyone loves him who works with him. And so, yeah, great pick. Great pick.
yes, Weird. The Al Yankovic story.
Remember how you're complaining about me bringing Dan on the show because we agree sometimes?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right in front of Dan.
Yeah. So there you go. There are our picks. Just to recap real quick, Dan, why don't you run through your ones you want to fail and then the ones you want to succeed?
All right, ones I want to fail. Number 5, Blonde. Number 4, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. Number 3, Pinocchio ×2. Number 2, Bones and All. Number 1, Halloween Ends. And then my most anticipated, number 5, The Empire of Light. Number 4, Avatar: The Way of Water. 3, Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. Number 2, The Banshees of Inisherin. And number 1, The Al Yankovic story.
Nice.
All right, and I have Hocus Pocus 2, Catherine
For
called,
most anticipated.
Catherine Called Birdie, Clerks 3, Pinocchio, and Halloween Ends. And for most anticipated, I have The Banshees of Inisherin. The menu,
Why are you saying that like
because there's so many I's in that word.
Inisherin.
Inisherin.
That's how I say it.
Guillermo del Toro's Cabinet of Curiosities, Avatar: The Way of Water, and Babylon.
Okay. The ones I want to flop are Pinocchio, Daddy-Daughter Trip, Hocus Pocus 2, The Munsters, and Avatar: The Way of Water. And then the ones I want to see are Dead for a Dollar, Amsterdam, The Banshees of Inisherin, See How They Run, and Weird, The Al Yankovic Story.
Joel, this is the most hipster you've ever got on one of
I
these
was
lists.
thinking that. I was actually looking at this going, man,
really-
there's not really mainstream pick here.
I'm handing my card over. There you go.
I don't want it. I don't want to be a hipster. I don't want to be a hipster. So there you go. Let us know if any of these movies struck your fancy. Watch the trailers. Get to know them. And then let us know. We want to hear from you on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook. We want to hear what you're looking forward to and what you want to flop in movies before the end of the year. And then, Dan, thank you again for being here and covering for Zach while he's on paternity leave.
Of course.
It's a benefit we offer here at Baconsale, paternity leave. But is there anyone you want to give a shout out to before you sign off today?
Thanks to Zach for taking a night off, giving me the opportunity.
And we really did call you last minute, so thank you.
You did.
Thank you for that.
It was great.
Yeah, you did a great job with such short notice.
Of course, thank you. Shout out to my family just for supporting me and to all the movie lovers out there.
Yeah.
Aw,
Yeah.
tender.
I do what I
Dan,
can.
we'll see you in 4 years.
Okay. It's been great. Next election cycle.
But before we go, we'd like to give some love to our patrons, including the I Am the Listener tier of patrons, which includes Stern Madam Hicks, Shannon West, Sean Sanquist, Ryan and Marley, Rocky and Steph, Scott Sprague, Lady Terry Finley, Juice the Cooler King Swallow, Johnny English the Brick, Jennifer Kilkowski, Glowclin Daniel, Debbie Foster, Dave Kelly, Casey Cummings, Braden Witterton, Angela Plotz, Andrew in the Dark, Alicia Bass, and Adam and Rachel Crump. And then we have our Baking Council, which includes the one, the only Chris Anderson, Stephen, everyone's favorite Ross, Star Wars expert Kyler, Spencer Myers, our favorite couple, the Madsons, Nicole Sinton and Sin Ben Hale, Josh from Rebel One TV, Her Royal Highness Jessica Terry, Allison Gall, and Beaker.
Thank you, patrons.
Thank you, patrons. You are the way to our water.
Thank you, patrons.
Yeah, that works.
I didn't get, from coming from me. That sounds
You're our
sarcastic,
banshees
though.
of inner.
You're the banshees of our inner Sharon. But if you want to find me, you can find me at 76Joel on Twitter. You can find me performing with Quickwits. They perform at the Midvale Performing Arts Center. For more details, go to qwcomedy.com or go to the Quickwits Facebook page.
You want to find me at Twitter, Instagram, it's at Kenny3DD. If you want to read my movie reviews, at ShowtimeShowdown.com. And if you want to reach out or connect with us on social media, you can do so on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. A lot of fun comments there every week. If you want to get some merch from us, it could be a t-shirt, a mug, a pillow.
I don't think there's a pillow. It's not a pillowcase.
Is it a body pillow?
Yeah. Zach usually does this.
I know. We're just trying to make it up.
They can sell body pillows.
We should do body pillows, but maybe not. Anyways, you can find that at tpublic.com/baconsale. And if you want to support us, support just starts at just $3 a month. And we do nearly weekly Pick and Bits where we just ramble on.
About
And it's
sushi.
pretty fun.
Yeah.
Sushi and botulism. So join us there, and that's at patreon.com/baconsale.
You can find me and my movie reviews on letterboxd.com/danfarns.
I love Letterboxd.
I know you do.
Are you on it? I need to follow you.
Yeah.
So until next time, Dan.
Dan.
You're on outro.
I thought I was on the intro.
You do both.
Oh.
I'm the comedian, not Zach. Not this week.
Take that, Zack.
You and your cute baby. Pumpkin Spice is life.
This is also a Rebel Wilson comedy. Whatever that means.
I didn't expect to have that much power.
But they absolutely loved it.
it.
Hereditary was the worst movie he's ever seen.
For my soul.
Nope is the new Hereditary.
Cruella was surprisingly good.
Hello.
I'd be lying if I said I've never watched an NC-17 movie.
Breathy way of speaking. You're too poor to go to those places. Watch out. I got pretty bad gas.
He's a ruthless killer. Hello,
So that was-
murder.
We can say cannibals, guys.
Can we say that?
We
I
can
was
say
worried.
cannibal. It's about cannibalism.
He hates her. He hates Anna de Armas.
I don't hate Anna de Armas. It was very chunkily knit.
I'll defend myself and hate the movie at the same time. It's a young couple. A young couple. Couple.
Couple. A young couple.
Couple. Yeah.
Come on, baby.
This San Antonio Screamer. Why is it called San Antonio?
I don't know. Why did you say San Antonio? Is it not called San Antonio Screamer?
Isn't it not?
Centennial
Screamer. What? I'm so tired of just them churning out superhero movies.
Why'd I get more sad about a donkey than a horse? The power dynamic's about to change.
I know.
What's wrong with guys who like cats?
So the plot synopsis.
Couple.
So the plot synopsis.
Come on with me.